Hello and welcome everyone to Speedy Sunday round 1 at Red Bull Ring. It is going to be an exciting one. We're currently watching Ryan. He's on his outlap, ready to start his first flying lap of qualifying. It is definitely going to be a big one. We've got a big grid for today, so I'm really excited to see how it all shapes out. For this new Sunday series, obviously it's a 30-minute race, so you haven't got long at all. So it's all about qualifying, getting the qualifying done, and then trying to maximise the 30-minute race. So it is going to be interesting for some of these drivers. Obviously a lot of new drivers as well into ACM, so it's great to see as well, and obviously some familiar faces on the left-hand side of your screen as well. So it will definitely be a very intriguing quali and race. Temperatures then, pretty standard, 21 and 27 degrees, average race conditions, with expected to be completely clear, so these will getting the absolute maximum out of these cars. So speaking of Ryan, obviously has shown himself to be quite a force. He's definitely one of the top drivers here in this race, but he was topped in practice, so it'll be interesting to see what they can do in the Mustang, in the Big Brain Racing Mustang. So that definitely has some force. Obviously it's going to be really quick on the straights, and as it's a Mustang, really quick on the corners as well. A little bit overpowered, but obviously it's all in good fun. Yeah, so we've got 31 drivers today, so it is definitely going to be a very great race. We'll stay aboard Ryan, see what his first lap time will be. What does he set? You can see the line on your screen now. It does look a pretty clean and tidy lap for Ryan. It is going to be a 128.4. That is the benchmark currently. You cannot see that on the screen. Let me fix that real quick, if I remember the keybind. I do remember the keybind. I'm just going to press every button on the keyboard. No, that is not the button I meant to press, but we're on board with Ryan, everyone. Jesus, I thought I pressed it the other day. Well, it looks like you're going to believe me for a second. Ryan is currently up on the lap time. It is around 2/10 at the moment, and has lost out to Xavi in the Mercedes AMG. It's a 28.0 on his benchmark, and he's already 10th and a half up into turn 1. So it is looking quite competitive. I'm still trying to figure out this button that I pressed the other day. I'm pretty sure it's this one, but it doesn't seem to be having it on my keyboard at the moment. Let me see if I can try it on my other keyboard. See if it'll play the game. It really is not playing the game. Alright. Okie dokie. It is not playing the game, ladies and gentlemen. Not too sure why. Well, unfortunately, we're going to have to wait. I'll try to get that fixed in between quali and the race. I'm not too sure what's going on there, but they're still on board with Xavi then. He's currently just over a 10th improvement, now 10th and a half, almost 2/10 as he comes round towards the final corner now. It is 3/10. So we'll be seeing exactly what that time he's going to say. It's 4/10 he comes across the line, 28.0 to a 27.6, and he will continue improving. And yeah, I'm not too sure what is going on at the moment, but we will see. Otherwise, done the grid then is the other spinner. I was going to say it was Jake, but no, it is the other spinner. A new driver in ACM, currently in the Aston, number 96, currently a second off and currently improving by 1/10, and let's see, well, this will put them, it's currently looking like a predicted P3. They have got an Audi just in front of them, which will compromise their lap a little bit, It is Blythe, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll have to see, and obviously Blythe is on a lap, so not much the Aston Martin can do. Still improving, but I think they're going to have to wait and go again. Looking down the grid then, we got John Bowden in the M4, currently 4/10 up on the lap time, and coming around now towards the final corner. He's found loads of time. He's found almost 1.5 seconds. So it's going to be an absolute mega lap. So he goes P18, and where will this put him? It puts him P6. A very nice lap from John then in the BPM Motorsport M4. So we will see. Let me try my third keyboard, ladies and gentlemen. Just give me 2 seconds. We will get this working. Okay. Plug it in. Let's see. There we go. Third keyboard saves it all. And you can finally see how close this grid is. Yeah, we'll go up towards the back of the field to see if anyone's improving by quite a bit. Yes, the number 18 BMW M4 with a very nice livery is currently on an invalidated lap as we switched over to them. That's nice, but they are currently 2/10 up, so there's definitely some improvement ready for this VIN Motorsport car, and we'll have to catch him with them a little bit later. But elsewhere then, Noah Ackerman finally decides to make his return into ACM with a completely new Rocket Stallion Racing livery, this time on the Porsche, a car which I never thought I'd see him drive. But in fact, he is finding loads of time at the moment. He's currently 2/10 up, and this has likely put him around P6. So he's keeping it very consistent at the moment, trying to make brake late as possible there without locking the wheels, and well, now let's move far right as possible and then brake at the 50, and then try keep it nice and tight early on the throttle, push it all the way wide. A little bit of a snap there from Alpersis as he now comes in, has to hug a little bit tight. That's quite a nice line over the curb. You can take a lot of that curb and then just try round it out. With the Porsche, is a little bit of oversteer and lift off oversteer, especially into this corner, so we'll see how he handles it. Pretty nice that you can see it snaps and he's sliding through the corner, so that is going to be a big issue with the Porsches today, I'd imagine. However, if he did use my setup, that probably wouldn't be the case, but who knows. He will now have to set another lap, but Ryan in the Big Brain Racing Mustang has found 6/10 in the second sector, sliding into the gravel there, losing a little bit of time there, around 2/10 lost. It is still on a bad lap, he's sliding everywhere in sector 2, and he's still no longer improving, but it definitely looks like he has the pace at the moment, because the current best lap time of the session, which I don't think I've pointed out, is now a 27.6 set by Xavi in the Mercedes AMG. So we'll see if Ryan can beat it on this lap. We've got 5 minutes left to quali. We'll go on board with Ryan. He is giving up as we go on board. Quite typical, but we'll see how that gets on. Ben Peake then, in the other BPM Motorsport M4, is currently in P5, 1.1 seconds off provisional pole, and he's currently 2/10 up at the moment. Coming down the back straight then, we'll go on board with him, see whereabouts he's braking. He's braking just at the 100. Nice braking point, hugs it tight, out wide if possible. He does that absolutely beautifully, and he'll now have to hug like Altos all the way to the right and try brake at the 50, which he does. Now he's hugging it tight again, trying to use as much as that BMW stability as possible. Very tidy line, braking just as late here, late apex this, all over the curb if possible, and that is another great example of how to take sector 2, and he's improved his time by 2 seconds, 2/10 on the delta. Again, using as much track as possible, hugging it tight all the way out wide. Again, cutting this corner over the line and just letting the car run out wide, and that has found him 7/10 of a second. A really beautiful lap there by Ben Peake, and that does put him P2 4 tenths to Xavi, with a purple sector 2 as well for Ben Peak. Brilliant lap, or final sector there. I'm sure he'll be looking to improve on that as quickly as possible as well. Stuart Pryor then, a long time no see in ACM, back again with the beautiful Aston livery, currently in P11, 1.3 seconds off provisional pole, and is trying to find himself currently around 2 tenths improvement for himself, and he'll be looking to carry that all the way to the end of the lap. It is one of these tracks where you have to hook up every corner exactly perfect to maximise the lap time. Also, you could say about any track, but Red Bull Ring especially, if you make one small mistake, your lap is pretty much over. So you have to be very, very tidy and clean. Is quite easy to invalidate as well, going over the curbs and cutting the final corner as well can sometimes get you an invalidation, so you can be really careful on how these drivers approach this. 2 minutes, or just been 3 minutes left of quali. Stuart Pryor has kept sector 2 very tidy, and he's currently up for 2 tenths improvement. He has held it throughout the lap, and he's gaining through these final corners. It's 3 tenths now. Again, cutting the final corner, like we see so many drivers do, and he has lost a little bit on the exit there, but still, it's going to be a 2.5 tenth improvement. That P11 puts him up to P7, and a 28.7 for Pryor, and that will put him in good range of looking at the top 5, as it is incredibly close, as you can see on the left hand side of your screen. Obviously, Xavi in P1, currently on a mission. He is on a lap at the moment, not improving, but someone that is improving is Ben Peak. We saw a beautiful lap from him earlier, and he's currently a 1/10.5 up. Obviously, he needs 4 tenths to get provisional pole, but can he do it? We'll have to find out again. Late braking, hug the inside, let the car roll out wide, and that's exactly what he's doing at the moment. He's trying to find himself time, again with a very nice Bilstein livery as well. He's just finding time everywhere at the moment. I'm not entirely sure how he's improving his sector 2 time, because when he did it, it was absolutely perfect. So it is again great to see this. He is improving still. It's around still a 1/10.5. Xavi has invalidated his lap for reference, so he will have to go again. It's almost 2 tenths as he comes round now towards the final corner. Watch him. How much does he cut? He cuts quite a bit, lets the car roll out wide. It is going to be an improvement. It's still going to be a 1/10.5. He loses a little bit to the line, so now the gap has come down and Xavi has pit. So this will be the last lap for Ben Peak, and he has also given up. So the top 2 then are staying where they are. What can Ryan do in the Mustang? He's currently hovering around half a tenth improvement. It is not going to be enough. He needs 8 tenths to take provisional pole, which I don't think is quite viably possible. He will have another lap, but does he have the fuel to do another lap is another story. The other BPM Motorsport car is also 3 tenths up, coming to the final corner, loses a little bit of time. So the BPM Motorsport guys, very, very quick, is an invalidated lap time for John. So quite unlucky, but again, still a very, very good starting place for the race. Obviously, it's only 30 minutes, so plenty of opportunities, and Ryan, I believe, is going again. So we will go on board with Ryan. What can Ryan do on this final lap? He's bouncing all over the curb. That's not going to help his lap, and he's exactly what I would have done. And it's time to call it there. He's probably over pushing the car. That's not really what he wants at all. But Peter, another face we haven't seen in a while, the number 27, is around a 10.5 improvement. This will gain him a position. He's lost a little bit in the final corner, not cutting as much as the other guys, and it's going to be around half a tenth improvement. I don't think this, it might just improve his position. It's P10 to P9. A place is a place at the end of the day. I don't believe anyone else is improving. Maple is on a lap and is improving around, well, it's now around equal on the lap time. It was around half a tenth. It isn't going to be much to the line. It will be an improvement, but not enough to improve a position, unfortunately. Other than that, look how close that quali was. Obviously, you've got Xavi then on pole position, a 1:27.6. just edging Ben Peake then by 0.3 of a second, followed by Ryan and the other spinner. And you've got Alpersis parking his Porsche up like he probably should do for the rest of the race. But regardless, it's still saying Peter is on a lap, which I don't think he is. There we go. The session has now ended, as we will now get ready for the start of the race. So I will quickly take a small break, and then we'll be back for the formation lap. 30 seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds. Okay then, we will now get away for the formation lap then for this 30-minute Speedy Sunday round 1 race at the Red Bull Ring. As you can probably see in the chat there, Cairo was saying he is the best 757 driver. That is a lie. You got to remember, it's me. As well, Blythe saying he is the fastest Audi. Why is he saying that? Because he's the only Audi on the track. It's probably not the best choice for a track like the Red Bull Ring, as it probably wants to send you left in a right-hander and right in a left-hander. So, but regardless, in ACM, obviously, any car will do. And at the moment, a car which we haven't seen that dominant in ACM at all is the Mercedes. Now, at the moment, driven by Xavi in the 245 Mercedes, it is currently dominating. So we'll have to see, obviously, how that affects the race as well. We saw Ben Peake as well has hook up some brilliant sector 2. So we'll have to see how it all comes into play. Mercedes is probably going to be faster in a straight line than the BMW. However, they do have the roaring Mustang just behind them. So it will be interesting to see how it all plays out. Track temperature then hasn't changed much from quali. It's gone up a track degree. so they won't experience much change at all in the tyres. No wind, so that means no movement of the clouds, and therefore we will have a clear race. The track is optimal, so these guys will get absolute most out of the car as they can in this short 30-minute sprint. This is one of the shortest, if not the shortest race we've done in OCM, so with this amount of cars, I am sure it is going to be great fun. We have to watch out for all the lap 1 action. There's going to be quite a lot of it, I can imagine. Hopefully, little drama as possible. But see then, Xavi then has been told to move to the left-hand side of the track to line up side by side in formation, ready for the start. And now it will be interesting. BMW versus Mustang versus Mercedes versus Aston. The top 5, sorry, are of the fastest top speed cars in the game. It's going to be quite interesting. We're about to get underway then. We've got a great view of the line, and we'll see. You see all the marbles on the right hand side of the track. So those cars on the right hand side are going to pick up marbles into turn 1. It won't do a lot, but we're about to see what it's about to cause as we'll get underway then for green flag racing any second. And it is now, as it passed the line, so over there with a decent getaway, has got the BMW on the inside and the Mustang looking as well. Sweeps around the corner, does Xavi. Doesn't make much difference, looks like it's fairly clean through turn 1. Some drivers taking the runoff in the background. That does not matter though, and Xavi's already got a very good the getaway as it comes up towards technically turn 2. See cars absolutely everywhere, and with very minimal incidents, I believe. And sees everything. We'll just try and pull away as much as possible. Other than that, you see, got another few. That's Pryor off in the background as well. Looks like there's 3 wide in the background there. Somewhere, yes, it's Nick Hurst with Peter and Pryor. We're looking for a move down into turn 3. Isn't much going on. There's still side-by-side action. There's a Lamborghini going side-by-side with the Porsche in the background. There's absolutely so much action going on at the moment. Absolutely loads. And you can see all the cars filtering through. Side-by-side is Vincent with the Lamborghini of Jost. A little bit wide for the Ferrari, and that allows Maple up the inside in sector 2, and he will get that position. Very nice move from Maple in the Porsche. There's contact on the curb from Maple's Porsche that sends him off into the gravel, and it allows so many cars through. It's not really what you want to see. There's still cars side by side. There's Blythe in the Audi. I'm not sure how he's there, but he is definitely making himself known to the stewards, and as well as so many cars. That's Jake there in the Porsche. Also on Vincent. Vincent has tumbled down the grid in the final sector, which is not entirely known to everyone, but there's lots of action up and down this grid. Looks like we've had a little bit of contact and a spin for Ronnie in the 58 McLaren as well. There's absolutely loads. I mean, Kelly then looking for a move to the outside of Zach Webb. There's a stalled Porsche and BMW. Not entirely sure what's happening there. There's absolutely loads of carnage. There's looks like 6 cars installed at turn 2. I'm not referring to that as turn 3. I'm just calling them out as the corner bends round. There's so many cars side by side, I literally cannot read. Kelly managed to escape from that as well. Will Gossel, not entirely sure he's doing a P15, but he's definitely fighting the Porsche at the moment. They're going to go side by side. It's one of the toughest places to go side by side around this track. Will is going to keep his foot in though, and is going to find the gravel for himself, but manages to tuck in nicely. Yeah, loads and loads of action. So Peter's just got through on Pryor as well. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but there's definitely something. And it looks like there's a little bit of front damage to that BMW. There was a little bit of a pile up. Loads of cars going wide. I think Will was getting himself a little bit involved with that Lamborghini. And you might even lose the position to the Lamborghini by turn 1. There is a Lexus, ladies and gentlemen. That is something you don't see every day, but there is a Lexus on track. Behold your eyes, it's going to fly by on the straight. And Will then around the outside. He's going to hold just a little bit of contact with the Lamborghini. Luckily not too much, and that is Blythe in the background. That was expected, but we love him. And Lamborghini then
still hugging onto the back of Will. Will looking to defend the inside very, very tightly. Allows space for the Lamborghini though. A little bit too much space if anything, because it's allowed the Lexus to go right around the outside of the Lamborghini. The Lexus will be trying to use as much of that top speed to try and overtake the Lamborghini as well. So we could see a double pass then. Lamborghini losing positions as well. You see Jake as well in the background trying to make up for what happened earlier. We got Martin and the other Mercedes of today in the Cat Speed car, and number 19 chasing after Kelly in the standard Rocket Stallion Racing Ferrari. So let's see how that goes out for him as well. We also have number 519 looking for a move on the other RSR car. It is McLaren versus Porsche at the moment. It looks like the Porsche is not having a great time, as it is incredibly unstable through the corners. But I'm sure, like I said, if Alplas had my setup, it would be fine. But you know, can't ask for everything. And at the moment, Porsche really struggling for grip by the looks of it. Managed to hold on for now and continue to join this train at the top, but no movement at the top 3 at the moment, and all the action is down at turn 1. It's Maple and Jake side by side, the two Porsches, and Gamer has found himself making it 3 wide towards turn 2. There's no space for Gamer, but he's making himself known anyway. There's contact, that's Maple, and Spinner is off, and he's going to have to rejoin as safely as possible. Not much Spinner could have done there. He's probably tried to slow that car down as much as he can. That's not ideal at all, but luckily he hasn't lost too much because of it. Gamer has somehow managed to wound himself 2 places for finding himself 3 wide there, and I believe, yes, that is Darkness overtaking Jake. I'm sure there'll be intercommunication here, but there's a lot of damage on that Porsche. It's not ideal whatsoever, but Darkness finds himself up a place defending from his teammate, and also looking to defend from Vincent as well. It looks like a lot of them, and Vincent has got a place on Jake because that damaged Porsche. I do feel sorry for Jake because he is using my setup and he has got damage. He's probably not having the best of times. So, speaking of 757 communications, then Webb has moved up a place on Pryor. Now we're looking to chase after Peter as well. So lots and lots of action, and it's only been 7 minutes and I haven't had a breath yet. Anyway, Gamer has lost the place for Lexus down the back straight. There's so many cars here. I need to see what's going on. There's absolutely loads of cars, and it looks like Gamer will go on board with Gamer. What's he going to do against the Lexus? Probably nothing, because the Lexus is absolutely flying. But actually, Gamer seems to be somehow holding on to the back of that Lexus, and Gamer looking for the switchback, a very deep switchback, and he has got it. He is side by side with the Lexus, but I don't know if the Lexus top speed is going to allow him to pull away. They're going to be side by side into the next corner. You'll see him coming now. This is turn 3. You can see Jake as well, overtaking Vincent in the background as well. Very late on the Brexit contact in the background there, but a big slide for Gamer in the Audi. And he's going to allow the Lexus all the way around the outside, but I don't think he's going to make it. Yeah, Lexus is going to hold on for now. Lots and lots of action as well, but at the top then, McLaren and the Porsche are battling once again. A little bit of rubbing, but nothing serious. Still side by side into the final window go. Lots of respectful racing between these two at the moment. And I think, unfortunately, Altos is going to lose out to this unless he manages to try and risk it. Into turn 1, he does look, but I don't think he will make that move. And he'll have to wait until he can use the Porsche in sector 2. Big slide for Kelly in the background in turn 1 as well. But another place for the number 90 Mercedes. Down goes Peter with that damage BMW. We'll have to find another place, but we have got a change at the top. Ryan is fighting Ben for P2, and Zabi has just absolutely run away with it. But Ryan is trying to put on the pressure at the moment against the M4 driver, and this is looking quite close at the moment. Ryan didn't look that close, and all of a sudden he is. So he's definitely found some pace, or Ben made a mistake. And we'll see how this plays out between these two. Actually, the Mustang can have much faster straight line speed. BMW is going to be a lot more stable and consistent through the corners. So it will be mainly how close can Ryan get to the back of the BMW at turn 1 to be able to make a move into turn 2. I'm sure that will be on his mind. I think, yes, I believe Altosis has made the position back on the McLaren. Looks like there's been a mistake made for the McLaren. Continues on. But at the moment then, where can Ryan get into this? He comes into turn 1. I don't think it's going to be enough. BMW seems way more confident heading into turn 1, so it will allow him to keep his position for now. But he has got to keep an eye on where Ryan is at all times. We'll try keep an eye on that battle, because at the moment we have loads of cars in the middle of the field, all wanting the next position. So like I said, it is only a 30-minute race, so everyone is trying to scramble for positions. And at the moment, I believe there's been an incident on the start line. There's a Lamborghini's a heavily damaged Porsche, as well as there's a McLaren overtaking on the grass, for crying out loud. I'm not entirely sure what is going on here. It seems to be a pile-up. I'm really not sure. We'll go back 60 seconds to see if we can understand what has just happened. I'm not too sure if ACC is going to comply with my request. I don't believe it is. It is. So here we go. We'll soon find out what happened to Jake and Vincent. Go on board. We can't go on board because my racing control is just disconnected. So we'll have to watch the off-board for a second. So looks like Jake's struggling. Oh, there's darkness spun, which put him offline a little bit. Vincent overtakes another Ferrari, a little bit of contact. Oh, really unfortunate that one. Absolutely cars everywhere. And then the Lamborghini rejoining Ferrari. That's not what you want to see. 4 stranded cars on the start line. Oh my god, it gets worse. Oh my god. I wish I never clicked instant replay. That was, yeah. Not too sure what was going on there, but that is a new one for me. I'm sure those guys are not going to be too happy either. But I'm back down the grid then, as Pryor seems to be looking at a move on maybe at the moment. It's the number 11 car versus the 113 car. And at the moment we're looking for a very late move. Doesn't get it. Does allow Pryor though to look up the inside of that Ferrari, but unfortunately does not get the overrun either. So it's quite unfortunate, but the battle still continues up and down the grid. It's absolutely lows. Maple side by side with the Lexus still. These two battle it out. Maple looking for the late switchback. He doesn't get it. That would have been pretty cool, but Maple just backing out of that, being sensible. It's still 18 minutes to go, so still plenty of time. I'm sure people like Ryan in the top 3 will want to try and get a move on. Looks like Ben has managed to hold the position for now. The lap times are looking pretty similar between the two, so not much going on there. However, 96 spinner is on the back of the 18 BMW, so we'll hopefully might be able to see a change for P4 as well. We'll just keep an eye on that battle, but at the moment there's a lot of action happening at turn 2. There was a Mercedes, a BMW and a Ferrari all very close together, and at the moment Mercedes looking to make a move on Kelly. Kelly is blocking the inside. Mercedes looks to the left as well. No room for this Mercedes, but Kelly's going to go quite late, try and defend us, a hint from the inside of Mercedes. There's absolutely loads of cars happening at the moment. The BMW and Mercedes side by side, then Mercedes has the inside. Does leave the room for the BMW, but managed to hold on to the position. There's a Porsche involved in this as well. There's absolutely loads of cars. At the moment, the BMW is on the right bumper of that Mercedes, and we'll try and look for a move. Kelly just gets a little bit of breathing room out of this, but I imagine not for long, as Mercedes will try to use its top speed to try and catch back up. As this Ferrari is not the fastest car at all in this race, so in terms of top speed. But you'll see then a lot of curb usage from the Mercedes. I'm not imagining that was a track limits warning. Actually, it looked like a massive amount, but is regardless using it to their advantage as they come into turn one. Will go on the passenger with 90 Martin in the 90 car. A little bit all over the curb. It hasn't really helped the situation. There's a Porsche and BMW side by side. There's a Porsche on the grass. Absolutely loads of action. I'd imagine this Porsche will want to try and get past this Mercedes, this BMW, sorry. Loads of cars. There's almost like a train now. This is the Kelly train. It goes down all the way to P15, and Kelly's P9. So that gives you an advantage to see what's going on. It really looks like Mercedes looking for a move. Kelly safely blocks that off. BMW again looking for a move on the exit there. We'll have to see how it all plays out. We have got a yellow flag up ahead. I'm not sure who it is, what it's for, but we have got a yellow flag. We'll have to see who it is when we come by. Cannot see. It looks like a stranded car potentially. It is not the Lexus. I'm not entirely sure who that is, in all honesty. Looks like they're still there. It is Adrian, unfortunately, in the 911 car. Got stranded in the gravel. Luckily did wait. So we'll have to see how that is, but at the moment then, this battle continues. Hurst is off the track. Absolute carnage between these guys. They are not giving up, and that's for sure. Pryor looking for a move on the Porsche, looking on towards the outside, is alongside then. Will also looking for a move on Webby. Lots and lots of action, and Pryor around the outside of Hurst. And does get that move, very nice move into turn 2, but Will actually hold side by side with Hurst, trying to get in the slipstream of Will to try improve that. I wonder if Hurst will try come back in at turn 3. He does think about it, but I think Pryor blocks that off beautifully in the gravel though, which doesn't really help his run into the next set of corners. Will allow Hurst a look around the outside, and he's going to try keep his foot in, but does sensibly avoid going around the outside there. But at the top then, only Spinner in the 96 Aston is close to the 18 BMW. Otherwise, at the top, the gaps are pretty stable at the moment. This midfield section though is definitely not giving up, and it's definitely incredible to watch this racing. Will then, on the back of the Ferrari, will be looking for a move on Webby into turn 1. This is not the place I would recommend for a move. There is a stranded Lexus at turn 1, and does make the move. Pryor might get the move on Webby as well, because how slow they were into turn 1. There's a Porsche, there's 3 wide behind, and that is not a position I want to be in, heading up to turn 2. But the Porsche has got by the both of them then, so Hurst does get the last laugh out of all that, though he does go off track. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. Pryor a little bit slow out the corner, and the Porsche has just flown by everybody with the acceleration, and looking for a move on Will for P12. He might try late dive this. He does go for the move. Will moving, because there's a wild Lexus off the track that is Schick, obviously blue flagged. Of course it has safely gotten out the way of everybody, and now then have to try and get past everybody else, but lots and lots of action. Kelly has lost vision to the Mercedes, but they're side by side in sector 2. Peter is just behind them. I think Kelly's just going to lose out to this into the fast right hander. He is putting pressure on the Mercedes. He is going to still look at the move, and he doesn't go for it though. Very sensible indeed, but the BMW is there on the outside. Kelly will have to leave him room, and just the right amount of room was left there. And now Kelly is under pressure from the BMW behind, and obviously with that Mercedes going, I'm sure the BMW want to get absolutely past Kelly as quickly as possible. You can see Jake in the background then giving way to all the other drivers. A little bit of a push for Kelly out of turn 1. Peter gives him a little love tap,
and that will allow Peter actually to get side by side with Kelly up towards turn 2. They'll go Kelly on the inside, Peter around the outside. I think Kelly has just let that one go, as I presume. I'm not entirely sure, but he seemed to let him go, and there is a backwards wheel at turn 2. That is not usually the position he's usually in. I like to imagine he's usually facing forwards, but so unfortunately he has lost a fair few positions because of that. But like I said, it looked like a very competitive. That's Pryor. I think Pryor is looking to give that position back to Will. This is definitely the sportsmanship that we like to see in ACM. You can see Pryor is slowing down, I believe, and has let Will go. So that is the sportsmanship that we all like to see in ACM. And Will and Pryor now will continue their battle as if nothing happened. And yeah, but looks like Maple and Gamer are going side by side. Well, they were looking to go side by side. That's an Audi and a Porsche. Probably the two most unstable cars around this circuit. But they continue. Looks like, speaking of Audi, Blythe just off into the gravel there. His team name is Callum. Remember first gear. He was looking to make a move on the number 2 Ferrari, but remember he needs to remember his braking point. But anyway, looking up towards the top of the field, then looks like Ryan has actually dropped off a little bit, or made a mistake, because the Vin Motorsport 18 car has found themselves within a second of Ryan already. The lap times, obviously, actually the 18 car was around 2/10 quicker than Ryan last time round. I just realised, I just looked at the time. Time does fly. We've just got less than 10 minutes left in this race, so it's all about now making your final positions and then try and settle in to the checkered flag. But at the moment then, I think Ryan's struggling quite a bit. He seems to be all over the place, but we'll come back to that, because I believe, yes, there is a Porsche off track and there's a McLaren following them, and that is the return battle of the 519 McLaren versus Alptosis in the newly liveried up RSR car. So this battle looks to continue like it has for all 30 minutes of this race, and I'm sure this McLaren will be looking to try get past the Porsche. McLaren seems to have the top speed with the slipstream. Alptosis moves to the inside to defend. McLaren's going to try around all the way around the outside, and the Porsche sweeps the apex and continues, and McLaren will have to fight another day. But moving upwards then, we'll look at the battle for P3, because it now has Spinner within a second of the 18 car, and this battle looks like it will continue. So this is getting quite exciting as well. John Bowden, the other BPM Motorsport BMW, is not far away either, so once these guys start battling, and that BMW in the background just there, don't count him out just yet. I'm sure John would love to be on the podium with his teammate, so we'll have to see how that goes, of course. I think Ryan seems to be struggling a little bit towards the end stint of this race. It looked like he had the pace. Looks like he was fighting Ben at the start of this race, but now seems to drop off just a little bit. That being said, Ben's last lap time was a 29.0, and Ryan's was a 28.8. Maybe a small lapse in concentration. There seems to be a Ferrari on the side of the track, or McLaren of sorts. There's Strand, I think it's Adrian again, but it seems to be going now, which is good. So yeah, we'll have to see. And Adrian has now pulled off again side of tracks. Maybe he's having some hardware problems, so we'll have to see how that goes for them. But Peter and the Mercedes, obviously now past Kelly, are fighting it out, and that was very close. Mercedes almost took the entire front bumper off that BMW, so glad to see there was no contact in the end. But this battle just seems to be continuing forever, to be honest. Porsche on the inside, McLaren on the outside, and I'm sure these two are obviously very respectable race between them so far. So I'm sure it looks like a car stranded or something. That seems to be. It's Adrian. Adrian's got some real problems by the looks of it. And he's just not having the best time. He's trying to safely rejoin, so maybe struggling out in the McLaren at the moment. But still, we continue. This battle for P7, so it is a top position in the top 10. And as you can see, Altosis feels the threat. He feels the need to defend turn 1, which is going to put him incredibly offline for the straight. And the McLaren will now get the best of that and absolutely fly past the Porsche. We've seen this before, but this time surely the McLaren had learned. But the Porsche is just going to try hug the apex. But still, Altos is on the inside, does the exact same thing they did last time, but this time the McLaren does try cut under, and it has put them in a better position as they come towards turn 3. I don't know if the McLaren will be enough to get the position, but it's going to be who breaks the latest. Altosis feels the need to defend the inside again, and once again, the McLaren looking for the switchback. A little bit of a bump on the rear from the McLaren, but they will continue. Just had to take a drink for a second, but this battle will continue. The Lexus just ahead has managed to get out of the way for them. McLaren will still continue this battle all the way to the end of the lap like it has been, but this looks like it's been the closest it has been. They're going to be side by side until the fast right-hander manages the Porsche just to get ahead. And the McLaren looking to the inside on the final corner. He's going to stick it in though, and there's going to be almost contact. Porsche goes wide. McLaren does leave space on the inside. And this battle will continue. Altosis feels the need to defend the inside again. Going to put him a horrible line. You can see the McLaren making the most of that. Altosis has learned, and he has made a slow apex this time. And this time they're going to be side by side after a little bit of door banging. And they're still going to be side by side up towards turn 2. This time the McLaren is ahead and is defending from the Porsche, and now it's Altosis' time to fight back. What can he do? Around the outside goes the Porsche. McLaren's got the inside. Altosis is still going to be there. Does get pushed wide a little bit, but within the rule book, absolutely. And Altosis still has to fight this one back. They're still going to be battling all the way to the end of this race. I can imagine McLaren does a very nice defensive line, blocks the Porsche from going around the outside, and McLaren will have to continue. And I think McLaren has got the position there. Very nice battling between these two, and hopefully this continues for a little bit longer. At the top then, the Aston has managed to get past the 18 BMW, so it looks like there has been a battle there as we're watching this one. So unfortunately did miss that, but it looks like it is continuing as I say that. The 18 side by side then with the Aston towards turn 1. We've just seen this with the Porsche and the McLaren. How is it going to be with these two? Fairly standard. BMW might get a little bit of a better line with slipstream, but here's John in the background as well, so these guys have got to be careful because they could be giving up a P4 here if they're not careful. A little bit of door rubbing again, but nothing too serious. Towards turn 2 there is a car off track, that's got to try to rejoin as safely as possible, and does so very nicely. These two still side by side though, as they come towards turn 3 now. They're still going to be side by side. Aston around the outside on the BMW, brakes late early does the BMW, and there's John comes flying by off into the gravel, and that's not really what I think anybody expected. I don't think I don't know if maybe a little lapse of judgment from the 18 car there. Maybe just broke a little bit early, allowed the Aston to swoop around the outside and forced John to try and make the move because of how early they broke. But a little lapse of judgment maybe from the BMW, but has pretty much stayed where they are, so they're no longer side by side. But yeah, that was another great battle. Indeed, another great battle indeed is still the BMW and the Mercedes side by side, respected to Kelly's still holding on as well as absolute loads of action everywhere, and we haven't got long left to go now, as my race control is absolutely bugging out like crazy. But that is Peter past the Mercedes, and Kelly now is just on the back of the Mercedes, so we're not going to have very long until we're going to have one more lap after this one, and that will be the race after that. So it's pretty much now or nothing for these drivers if they want to make the places. So this is for P4, is the BMW versus the Aston. You got Kelly in the Mercedes and Peter in the BMW battling for P9, and I think the Porsche versus McLaren has sort of died down, is stabilised for now. I think Altos is struggling a little bit with getting used to the Porsche, but I think that was John off into the gravel then in the background, so him not really pushing that hard anymore. I think he's going to try settle in after this, so I think this is now not the closest battle. The closest battle is down with the Mercedes, but we'll stay on board for this one as we head towards the final lap then. So there you go, you heard it there. It is the final lap for the leader, and Xavi has taken pole position and led every single lap so far this race. And what a great start to the Speedy Sunday Championship in ACM if they do take the win. But we'll stay on board for the last lap then for Mogul in the 18 Vin Motorsport BMW. This is their last chance to try and get past this Aston. They don't seem close enough to me, but obviously anything can happen. Still got loads of corners to go, and they have got blue flags ahead of them, so this could change everything. So keep an eye on the gaps as well between Kelly, the Mercedes and Peter as well. Right, keep an eye on those gaps, but at the moment it seems to be the same gap between these two and those two. Blue flags have gone out of the way, so it's now all up to these guys. What will they do? I don't think it is going to be enough for Mogul to try and get the position off Spinner, unfortunately. But then someone that has led, as like I said, led the race completely from start to finish, taken pole and taken fastest lap with them as well. 28.9 is their last lap, and 28.0 is their best, but it is Xavi in the 245 Mercedes has taken the win at the round 1 of Speedy Sunday. Ben Peake will follow after a very clean race, defending from Ryan as well, and obviously Ryan himself will take a very well deserved P3 in a big brain racing car, followed by Mogul, who has managed to get past Spinner. We've missed that, I believe. We've missed that, but I'll have to see that. But it was a very good race. We'll quickly go back and watch that because I really want to see what happened there. But yeah, we got John, the McLaren, and then Altosis as well, getting up down to P8, Peter P9, and also the Mercedes down in P10. So what happened here, which allowed these guys to switch? He let him go. So maybe a little bit of sportsmanship there as well. So obviously great to see in ACM. So very well done, and obviously very well played to these drivers, as they thoroughly deserve it as well. So big well done to Xavi taking P1. I'm not sure why it's blurry. I'm not sure what's going on there, but yeah, we got a very nice, these two battling as well. Great sportsmanship between these two, having a great battle. And for a 30-minute race, I'm out of breath and I need a drink. But yeah, that was a really great race. Obviously, if you want to join ACM, you can go to the ACM website and obviously join the ACM Discord, and you can sign up to any race. Obviously, we race ACC, Le Mans Ultimate, iRacing, and a few other games as well, like WRC. If you are interested, you can join. Obviously, big thank you to all of our partners and such. You can see them on screen as all throughout the race, as they make everything we do possible. So big thank you to everyone there, and obviously what a great race that was. Also, I can't wait for round 2, and hopefully we'll have another jam-packed, exciting race with another big grid. You can see the RSR cars then side by side, the old versus the new, and that is definitely very interesting. So, thank you all for watching, and I'll hopefully see you at the next one.